John Wesley Brooks, and I want him to tell you a little bit about who he is, why he does what he does. So I'm going to let you take it away.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. Well, I get that question asked a lot, like, why are you in the real estate business, or what got you in the business? And for a lot of people get in the business for many reasons. They like to look at houses, or want to get decorating ideas, or go make money and chase cents. But for me personally, it was kind of really a family legacy. I mean, I was probably showing houses, open houses, going on listing appointments really before I could even walk with my parents. And so I don't know, it was just something about it that was kind of in the bloodline is what people tell me, but I didn't have a plan B. All my life I wanted to be a real estate professional, and that's what I went and did. And so I didn't have a backup plan. It was either do this or bust.
Yeah.
So, I love working with people. It's just really fun. I like helping people get from point A to point Z in the whole process. I try to make it very easy and smooth and stress-free, which in today's real estate environment can be a little challenging. But I'm just really here to serve the community, and just really been loving every minute of it.
So you've been in the industry 19 years now. You're going on your 19th year.
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever, in those 19 years, seen a market similar to the one we're in today?
No, I mean, this market is definitely, amazing in some aspects, challenging in others, and it depends on really if you're buying, you're selling, what price point you're in, because really what I've really learned in the last couple of years is every segment of the market is different. If you're an investor, it's different. If first-time home buyer, it's different. If you're selling your house, it's going to be a different experience. And so I think that's why it's just really important in today's market to have someone that has a ton of experience in the real estate industry to kind of guide customers, no matter if they're looking to buy or sell from point A to Z. But there's definitely some things that are in the works with the market changing, interest rates going up, things along that nature that's going to be real interesting to see what happens this year.
As a real estate professional, you've been through some of the tough times that we've gone through, and Huntsville's kind of in a bubble, if you will. We seem to be a little bit more protected than other areas in the country. But with the inventory shortage we're seeing right now, how is that affecting your buyers? Are they having to go into rental situations? Is it affecting the sellers that you work with, being, maybe nervous or anxious to list right now because of the inventory shortage that we're facing?
Yeah, that's a good question. So it affects everyone differently, for sure. I've had tons of sellers that had to actually sell a house and they were going to go build one, and so they rented an apartment or rented a house, which I know isn't the ideal situation. Hey, you got to move twice, but with construction delays and everything else we've been facing, that may be a good solution. Same with buyers. They've had to go rent and extend their leases while they were sitting here chasing around, a lot of houses. But I think the key is not to get discouraged. If you're a buyer right now, I mean, it's certainly got its challenges, and a lot of buyers are worried about, is this a bubble? And like you're mentioning, Huntsville has always been a little bit of a protected bubble, even when the market crashed, and those were daunting times for all of us. I feel like Huntsville didn't decrease in values like 40, 50, 60% like the East Coast, the West Coast, your metro cities. So I know that's a hot topic right now is, hey, where are we on pricing and all these as-is offers and people going way over list? What does that mean? Well, I think really what the key is right now is for people to understand the interest rate. That's the discount. That's the deal. Like, we got to focus on the rates being this low. And when they're this low, it's inevitable they're going up. They've already gone up in the last couple of months, as you've been seeing. It's inevitable, probably 1-2% next a year or two. And then let's just say, hypothetically, worst case scenario, somebody does overpay on a house, $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, and the prices decrease. So in their mind they overpaid, but they got an interest rate at today's rate. The new buyer comes in and 1 or 2%. Well, when you start looking at how that evens out, and you're in the loan industry, you could tell better than me, but hey, $40,000, $50,000 and the 1 and 2%, it kind of balances out. And so I would encourage buyers not to sit there and just think about, hey, am I going to overpay, and is the price ever going to go down? If it does, what does that mean to us and our value? As long as you don't sell your house, then 6 months or a year, then you're fine. You just buckle down and stay in your home, and then things will be fine.
We have so much economic development happening here in the North Alabama area. Lots of big companies moving here, warehouses being put in so that they can have new jobs and new growth. So I do feel like, that we should, as professionals in the industry, sort of remind people of that to calm them, because there's so much chitter chatter about the bubble, it's going to burst, and it's doom and gloom. But in reality, I don't think that's the case. I think that we are seeing the market change, and change in a way that maybe we've not experienced in the last 18, 19, 20 years being in the industry. But it's our job to deal with the facts and to assure our borrowers, our clients, buyers, sellers of what we do know. And that is, it is still a great time to buy, and it is still a great time to sell.
I agree. I think the current administrative staff, Tommy Battle, and everyone else has really set us on the map to not only grow, but as their slogan, hey, to be the biggest, not to be the biggest, but have the brightest minds, and to grow, in a smart way. I think that's what the city's doing. And so, and I want to mention this to sellers. A lot of sellers are like, hey, well, if price is going to keep going up and up, then I'm going to, maybe wait and then sell because I want to make more money, or hey, I can buy a better house or bigger house, that kind of thing. But here's also the thing. Let's say the interest rates do go up 1-2%. In my opinion, there's probably going to be a balancing at that point. Is, hey, are buyers willing to go $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 over list price? Are they willing to go as is? And then I think that balancing point may be in a situation where, hey, believe it or not, sellers maybe start to pay closing costs again.
No.
I know it. I know that's I can't, it's hard to believe, but I think that there'll be some balancing here in the next year or two because of all those factors. But as our city keeps growing, I mean, the law of supply and demand is certainly there at the moment. But I think that, you just got to get to where you have a comfortable, peaceful mindset on buying or selling, and just let the chips fall where they are and go for it, because it is an amazing time to be in the city. You
hit on a topic that I want to address when you said sellers may come back to pay in closing. So really, up until the last few years, that has always been the norm.
Yeah.
And we thought that was going to be the normal forever, for the foreseeable future. And then as things start to happen, the norms change. And so right now the norm is that sellers aren't having to do very much except market their property correctly with an experienced agent and receive multiple offers, and then weed through all of those and decide what's the best one for them. They're not really having to pay closing or to do other things that we're used to seeing traditionally done. So I think that's a little interesting too. I think it really has changed the industry as a whole, everything that's happening. And I don't know that it's a bad thing. Like, I want to quit painting all of this in such a negative light.
I agree.
And I think it's important here to realize that our real estate professionals are just that. They are professionals, and they are used to changing and seeing things move rapidly and having to adapt to that. So it's really important, if you're considering purchasing a home, to find a realtor that you trust, or to take a recommendation like John Wesley Brooks here. Reach out to him if you've got questions. They're here for you. They work for you. So I just think it's sort of a different world we're in, but it's not necessarily a bad one, It's
not. And really, I mean, I think what people need to really consider is, why do you buy a home? You buy a home for memories. Yeah. You buy a home for peace. You buy a home because you're downsizing, you're upsizing, new chapter in your life, kids are going off to college, whatever it is. And so, can you really put a price on those kind of memories? Can you put a price on finding a house that gives you peace, that gives you joy, that gives you that feeling of rest?
Right.
And I mean, that's where I think, yes, it is always dollars and cents, and money doesn't grow on trees, but at the same time, when you find a home like that, sometimes it doesn't matter what the price is, as long as your needs are met at that time.
Well, and I think the pandemic sort of escalated a lot of things. I think our country was headed in the direction of realizing just the true value of home, and that home means everything. But being locked up for several months, 2 years, some of us were locked in our houses. You really start to think about what is important and the things that you want to do, and home ownership matters greatly. So,
well, piggybacking on that, I kind of liked during the pandemic as being an essential worker, because I was driving around the city and there was no traffic.
No traffic.
I felt like how when I grew up in Huntsville and I got my driver's license.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow, there's no traffic. This is awesome. But
that changes very quickly.
Yeah,
we have a lot of traffic everywhere.
Yeah, now we do.
So you had a fantastic year in 2021. So congratulations for
Thank you.
that. You were number 1.
Number 1 in my local office, and number 2 for Coldwell Banker in the state of Alabama. Apparently I was number 43 in the country for Coldwell Banker on gross commission. So it'd be interesting to see where Real Trends ranks me here locally as far as in the whole city. And all that's great, and I love the recognition, the trophies, but really, I mean, I have to admit, like, it was really all of our customers, all of our past clients that made that happen. You wouldn't believe almost of the 112 properties and houses that I was able to have being honored and fortunate enough and blessed to help my clients sell. Almost all of them were personal referrals. And so, I mean, it blew our mind, but yeah, amazing year.
Now that's a big deal what you just said there. Over 110 transactions, and majority of them were personal referral.
Yes, ma'am. Personal referrals, past clients, friends, family. Big investor pool where they were buying 4, 5, 6 houses, to a lot of them that were, hey, I sold them a house 10, 15 years ago, ready to sell. So, and it's kind of cool when you're able to keep in touch with your clients and watch them grow and watch them, hey, get a new job and they're making more money, or again, like we talked about earlier, they want to downsize or upsize, and so that's really why I got into real estate. I didn't really understand that dynamics at first. I just again wanted to be like my parents and get in this business, for good, bad, or for the worse. But now that I've been in it so long, I kind of understand the behind the scenes of what you do and why you do it and how it makes you feel. But like really, I mean, we're here, to serve and to help others. And so, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, we pride ourselves, when I say we, my wife and I and our team here, we pride ourselves in really just providing the ultimate service, being there for our clients, just like what you guys are at Loan Depot, and really just going out of our way to protect them. Making sure that, hey, I don't know, that area that isn't exactly what you told me that you wanted to be at, or hey, this school is actually hits all the marks for your kid that has a specialty in learning and things along that nature. And so, or hey, your kid's is amazing in sports, you need to look at this school. So I think just putting all those pieces together, I think my clients have really just appreciated that over the years, because I mean, actually I'm an open book, and kind of what you see is what you get, and I just kind of let them make the ultimate decision, but certainly I guess I allow them to allow me to put my input in when it's needed or when it's wanted.
Yeah. So you've actually built relationships with them, which is so crucial, I think, is establishing that trust and that relationship with the client. And like you see now, fast forward 18 years, 19 years in the industry, that's paying for itself because they're coming back, they're referring you, and you have built an entire business around it. So that is something hopeful, I think, that some maybe new agents or people who are just now getting started in real estate, that gives them something to hope for and to work towards, because that's a really good story,
Yeah, no, it's a lot of hard work. And I want to touch on Loan Depot, and because I had this much experience, I worked with hundreds of loan officers over my career, and my clients have had some bad experiences, especially with out-of-state lenders, and good experiences, don't get me wrong, but I've really appreciated, my clients really appreciated working with Loan Depot and the Clear to Close team, because certainly you guys have never missed closings. You're always on point. There's never a surprise. There's never asking for documents at the last minute, causing delays. And in this market right now, you get a delay in closing. A seller says, hey,
they're
great.
done.
Hey, go find another house, or that's going to cost you $5,000. And so, like, people don't realize that, and especially when you're using out-of-state lenders, the delay ordering an appraisal is mind-blowing, but out-of-state lenders don't have the connections to get an appraiser to jump through hoops and get something pushed through on a file to get that turnaround time that we all still experience and expect of a 30-day closing, which probably should be 40, 45 days really.
We could probably take a little bit of a deep breath if we were back in the 45-day closing.
Yeah, I bet.
I think everybody could just take a deep breath and feel really good. But, I think that is one of the perks with the Clear to Close team and Loan Depot, is that you can start online but finish local. And you have people who have built relationships, realtors, builders, like that is what we do. So it helps when you need a little push or a favor or things to get done, they just get done. Whereas if you're working with someone who's not familiar with our community and doesn't know the people, it can get challenging. So we appreciate those kind words. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
I always start the interview with, where is your favorite place to get a good cup of coffee?
All right. That's a good question. Well, my favorite place is right here in my little K-Cup at my house because I traveled all over Central and South America, fell in love with Colombia. That's why I married a Colombian and she's my mocha latte.
I got you.
But, so I order all my coffee online and Juan Valdez, anyone out there, wants to know, I love Juan Valdez from Colombia, so it's pretty amazing. But when I'm on the run, I'll stop in White Bison, so I'm in a hurry. But I do enjoy at Bridge Street, I think it's called La Macaron, the French pastry place.
Oui, oui.
Oui, oui. I mean, you can't go wrong there as well.
Okay, so tell me, the coffee that you drink here, do you order that from Colombia?
Well, I order it on Amazon, but it does come from Colombia. Where are we going to be without Amazon?
Yeah, Amazon, A to Z.
Yep.
Did you know that's what the logo means? If you look at the logo, it says Amazon.
Yeah.
And then it has an arrow from the A to the Z.
Learned something today.
Look at that.
Yeah, look at that.
Everything from A to Z.
Makes sense.
Yeah, including good coffee. Okay, so my next random question for you. If you could choose a superpower, what would you choose and why?
All right. I think I would choose to be Spider-Man so I can climb up on all sorts of buildings and swing around, the webs.
All right, so I'm going to ask you a tough question. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Because I know that I would have a tough time answering this question.
Oh, appreciate it. Put me on the spot.
So I'm going to give you an option here.
All
I want
right.
you to tell me one of your top 3 favorite movies ever.
Man, yeah, that is a tough question.
It's a tough one.
I like Young Guns.
Okay. Okay. You knew that one pretty easily, so I'm going to say that is probably one of your top 3 favorites, right?
And they've got several, 1 and 2, and
Yep.
so it's hard. You can sit there and go down the line if you're doing their top 1 and 2 and 3.
Okay, well, if y'all just want to know, mine is Harry Potter.
All right, there you go.
I love Harry Potter. Love the books, love everything about Harry Potter. Do you have a favorite band, musical artist, I'll give you a top 3 so you don't have to make it your absolute favorite.
Okay. Well, I think music is kind of like food. Like every 7 years, your taste buds are supposed to change, and I think music is too. So I used to follow tons of music, kind of my hippie days, and when I was in high school and college, and used to sell T-shirts.
Did you really?
In the parking lot, stuff like that. But,
out of the trunk of your car?
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
Yep. And so, but I'm into Kenny Chesney nowadays because it is a very stressful industry, so I kind of like the island vibe. So I got the Kenny Chesney, no shoes, radio.
No shirt, no problem.
No shoes, no shirt, no problem, kind of thing. So, and I scored tickets to Kenny Chesney at the New Amphitheater. So,
okay,
I'm gonna go to Kenny Chesney right now.
Well, very good, good. I like it. Okay, so John Wesley Brooks, where can people reach you? How can they get in touch with you?
Well, certainly you can check out our website, johnwesleybrooksrealestate.com, or you can reach us at 256-797-2283.
All right, I know I've asked you a lot of questions, but I have one final last question.
Okay, what you got?
What are your favorite 3 words?
All right, let me think. Clear to close.
I love it. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with us today and open up your beautiful home. We appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you at the closing table.
All right, thank you for having me.